Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Wednesday Night Motorsports for the RSRA Super 2E Series, Round 8, Race 9, and coming to you from Austria, the Red Bull Ring for the Devon Stove Designs RedBullring 160. And what a week it has been leading up to this. Coming off the back of an enduro round at probably one of the most lethal street circuits on the iRacing servers, and watching Simon Valla take out yet another victory there on the streets. Back-to-back victories for Simon Valla there, and he's going to be looking to back it up and go for the hat-trick tonight out at the Red Bull Ring. Mac Davis, Dean Reddit joining you on your Wednesday Night Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to our original night finally. iRacing has finally fixed their issues of not should I say fix their issues, but have sorted their time slots out more so, and finally allowed us to race back on Wednesday nights. And I'll bring you in here, Dean, now looking into the Red Bull Ring 160 for tonight, mate. And if we anything compared to Tuesday night motorsports, where Zach Cave and Chris Kisby headed that one, it's going to be an interesting night.
Yeah, we had a pretty clean run last night here, and the track's pretty conducive to good fast racing. And if anyone's brave enough, there's plenty of overtakes available out here. So it's good to be back on a Wednesday night and joining you for some company, mate.
Oh, thank you very much. It's good to have some company in the booth tonight. And, mate, we'll be getting a lot of insight from you as a driver as well tonight. As we go throughout the broadcast, where overtaking moves are going to be made tonight, and where the slipstreams are definitely going to be, and should I say the times from the slipstreams are going to be made up, that's for sure. But, ladies and gentlemen, we get into the itty-gritty business now and bring up what's going to be happening out on track tonight, how long we're going to be racing for, what sort of fuel we're going to be covering tonight, and how challenged the drivers are going to be for 160 kilometres around this grueling circuit. 4.3 kilometres, or 4.31 kilometres to be precise, in length. 38 laps, 163.8 kilometres in race distance, so a little bit over the advertised 160. The 60 kilometre pit lane speed limits in place tonight. 46.2 litres of fuel they're going to be using tonight, or should I say on board tonight. 2 pit stops, 3.3 litres of fuel burn a lap. Dean, that will get you to let us know what sort of laps they are after this, what sort of laps we're going to be expecting them to see them come in. 2 sets of tyres available, one to start with, one for either the first pit stop or the second pit stop, whichever one they choose. It's completely up to the drivers. 11th of August 2021, starting at 3:30 in the afternoon. Air temp, it's nice, warm, 24 degrees, and the track temps are a little bit on the high side. The black stuffs are sitting at 39 degrees Celsius at the moment, and a southerly wind direction of 10 kilometres an hour. So a little bit of headwind going down the front straight there, Dean.
Yeah, there might be a bit of headwind for the drivers to contend with, but that'll make the draft even more powerful, I think.
Now, obviously, biggest overtaking move, Dean, down the front straight there into turn 2. Going back to the pit stops though, when are we going to be expecting drivers to pop their noses across the control line there for pit lane?
It looks like a tank can probably get you 14 to 15 laps. If we go green for that distance, probably a pretty low chance of a safety car here. There's a lot of runoff on this track, so you'll be looking at that 14 lap marker, lap 13 for an undercut.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Look for the pit strategies to be played out tonight. The boys are going to be real fresh on the strategies as well, coming off the back of enduro round. So the pit strategies, it could be a race won or lost on pit lane. 5 minutes, or almost 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go in qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie Davis currently topping the boards. Brian Good making a show up there in second position, and Simon Valla rounding out the top 3 there with Scotty Barton and Robbie Bradbury rounding out the top 5. So Barton with another nice little qualifying session there, currently sitting in 4th position. And it's good to see a few different characters pop up at the top of the field there, that's for sure. But we'll get into the championship points for you, ladies and gentlemen, and see who's currently leading the championship, where everyone's sitting at, before we get to the unofficial results at the end of tonight's race. And Jamie Davis has got a nice demanding lead, as we know from last week. and 60 points abreast there over Robbie Bradbury. And then Simon Vella in hot pursuit. The two Century SimSport guys in second and third. Mark Turner in fourth position, Adam Moore in fifth, Jonathan Bain in sixth, and Tony Gaffer in seventh position, Stephen Martin in eighth, Kyle Zink from the 9-5 boys in ninth, and Scotty Barton rounding out your top 10 there with 815 points, ladies and gentlemen. Let those scroll through with you. Well, Dean and I have a little bit of a chin wag over here. Dean, tyres around RedBullring now. We know you've done a fair few laps, obviously, through the week with practice, and then obviously did your race run last night. What's the tyres going to be like around Austria tonight?
Look, I thought they held on pretty well. There will be a strong undercut with fresh tyres, as always in these cars. But as they do wear over the lifespan of a fuel tank, there will be needed to do some adjustments in car again just to get the most life out of them. When you look at the track, turn one, and I think it's technically turn three, if you count the kink up the straight as turn two, they're pretty important traction zones. So getting your tyres under temperature control and not overheated is really important, really crucial to getting a good drive onto those straights.
Obviously, turn 2 and 3, you got the front straight there. Turn 2, not so much of a big kink through there, but you've got 3 into 4, 8 into 9, and then obviously the run from 10 to 1. Big overtaking moves down into there as we see a car go around in qualifying there, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully there's no damage. They can lift it back to pit lane, get a fresh set of tyres, hold it onto that, and get one last flying lap in with us. We just click over 3 minutes to go in qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Bauer now tops the qualifying boards with a 130.77. So Simon and Bella duking it out again, and it might be another Century and AutoServe battle from start to finish. We'll have to wait and see what goes on there. Then your pick for tonight, mate. We've seen Simon Bella going for the hat trick. Jamie Davis has had the charge of racing, especially the late race charge on those fresh tyres. You know he's got the pace. But it's Brian Good and Scotty Barton, those might be a bit of a talking point tonight, sitting third and fourth.
Yeah, I like Brian last week heading into Detroit. He's been looking really, really strong the last couple of weeks. He's just got to do one or two positions better, and he'll be up on the podium. So I'll take a rough again. I'll go with Brian Good, I think, tonight.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Good sitting in Dean Reddit's books. We'll have to wait to see what's going on. By the looks of it, the sun's hidden behind the clouds at the moment around the RedBullring in Austria. And a new track on the iRacing server as well. So another new track that iRacing has decided to dish out to the drivers. And we've been seeing some extremely good battling throughout the practice sessions, and especially last night in the Tuesday night, the Super Series. And I believe one of the 9-5 boys dominated that one again with the demanding 9-second lead. Dylan Pereira coming home in second position in that one, banking himself another podium finish for the season. I believe I was there when he took out his first podium finish of the season as well, back towards the start, I believe. And not too fond on the memory of that one. It's a little bit blank with me, but I'm pretty sure he banked one at the start of the season. Might have been in the last season. He might have banked himself one towards the end. Nevertheless, a minute to go in qualifying. A few drivers coming in for some fresh tyres to try and get out and race around, but I don't think they're going to be having enough time. Justin Pennefather, one of them, he might be sitting in the pits till the end of this session. Just trying to think anything else I should quickly touch base on, Dean, in your books, or anything you've got to say.
Oh, look at just from last night. Like, this was even though the lap is sort of short here and it's not super difficult to get around in the car, it's really hard to be fast here, and it was a sweaty race. There may not have been much happening in terms of position swaps, but just to hold on to the cars in front of you with a lot of aero wash takes a lot of effort. So, we might get a totally different race here tonight than what we saw last night.
Well, let's get an onboard view of what's going to be happening around the RedBullring in a V8 supercar. JP's on standby with a hot lap for you all of what he's done throughout Red Bull Ring. So we might as well jump on board and have a look at what it takes to throw 650 horsepower of V8 muscle around this Austrian circuit.
All right, here we are going for a hot lap of the Red Bull Ring in the number 888 Simshed Broadcasting ZB Holden Commodore. So just getting ready to get this lap underway now. Coming up to the second last and last corner. Really want to get these ones good. Take as much track as I can to get this corner. Get over on there like a little bit of a berm. Now, coming out of this, take as much track as I can. Get a slide on. I was able to catch that. Hard on the throttle going through here. Banging up through the gears. All the way up into 6th gear. Now as I come across the ripple strip, hard on the brakes. Start to slow down. 2nd gear, turn in early. Get on the power nice and early. 3rd gear, now we're going through the gears nice and smoothly again. Making sure to stay off that rev limiter. All the way up into 6th gear. Now we're going to hit the brakes just as we come onto the next ripple strip. Get the car over as far as we can. 1st gear, turn in early. On the power early. 2nd gear out of here. Getting onto the power. Now we're trying to straighten up this section of road. So holding the wheel straight. It has a natural kink to it. It will bring us off to the next side of the road here. On the brakes hard now. I start to trail the brakes. Turn in early. 2nd gear into here. Use that as a bit of a berm. On the throttle nice and early. Use all of the track coming out. 3rd gear. 4th gear. 5th gear. Now shift down into 3rd gear. Trail the brake. I use this corner to help turn the car. On the power early. 4th gear. On the brakes here. 3rd gear. Trail the brake to help the car turn in. Get on that power. 4th gear, 5th gear. We'll hit 6th gear before we get into the braking zone. Get the car across. Get as much track as I can. Braking zone. Up on the ripple strip. On the power early. Shift down to 3rd gear. Get as much track as I can coming out here on that power early. And that's a hot lap of the Austrian Red Bull Ring for the Devon Stove Design Red Bull 160. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much for doing that, JP. And what a track it is, ladies and gentlemen, to throw a V8 supercar around. Indeed, one thing I noticed, and JP, I'll bring you in as well, one thing I did notice is a lot of curb use around here with the V8 supercar. JP, it's coming into the last corner there is just to start your hot lap. Bit of a slide. Is that due to that yellow hot dog that I see?
Yeah, just a little too early on the power coming out of there. Hit that little sleeping policeman. Got the car on the slide, but I was able to keep the power into it, so I didn't lose too much time. I'll straighten it out and then back into it. But this is one of these tracks where you can use a bit of the curb, and especially towards that back end of the track there, you can actually use the curbing, and it helps to rotate the car.
Well, Dean, it's another big one with curb use as well. I saw on the hot lap there is a lot of braking done on the curbs as well. How's that affecting the car?
Yeah, it's very easy to miss an apex with the speed that the car's carrying through a lot of these essentially 3rd gear corners. So braking, you want to get your braking done early. So when you're already getting to the curb in the corner, you want to be actually on throttle and trying to drive your way out of there. So that caught me out a couple of times where I was too slow through the corners, missing the apex, running wide, and the car just wants to understeer after that point. So even though the track's really, really wide and you can easily go 2, sometimes 3 wide through here, you need to clip that curb, otherwise you're just going to lose too much time.
How many battles are we going to be seeing 2-3 wide? You did just mention that, and it's one thing that I was curious because obviously missed last night's broadcast to watch you and the rest of the boys race there. Are we going to be expecting a lot of 2-3 wide action tonight around Red Bull Ring?
I think you're going to witness a few times where there could be at least half a lap where cars are going too wide here. So we've seen that late in last night's race between 2nd and 3rd, where they almost went a full lap side by side. So it's very possible. You do need to make sure that you get that good traction out of turn 1 or turn 2, 3, we'll call it, to make it happen, to get up alongside. But all it takes is the car in front to miss that curb, like we were talking about, clipping that curb, and you'll be right up on them. So we'll see it quite often, I think.
Well, just missed that one. Sorry, I believe that was Clay Lindsay from memory saying g'day. So g'day out there, Clay Lindsay, and thank you very much for joining us, and thank you everybody for joining us as well from wherever you are watching from in Australia, around the world, on all our social platforms, whether it be Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, whether it be on the Simshed Broadcasting, page or the Real Sim Racing Australia page. Thank you very much for joining us on the Wednesday Night Motorsport as usual. And Craig Schultz just currently out on track doing a quick sweep of the Austrian GP circuit to make sure that there is no debris and definitely no spectators, virtual spectators, walking across the track and quite possibly doing a streak for us. But Craig Schultz doing an excellent job trying not to spin that Porsche. And hopefully it's the only seat time that he has to do tonight in the our SimShed Broadcasting safety car, Dean, because otherwise we'll be going time certain on the race.
Yeah, well, we need to get this one in on time, don't we? So there is maintenance scheduled at the end of this race. So, look, we went all night last night without one. So let's hope the boys can keep it green for the distance.
Craig Schultz doing a 134.7, ladies and gentlemen, just for those following at home and wondering how fast is actually ringing this Porsche around the track. And I don't believe that is full stick around here either. So Craig Schultz doing a 134.7. So fastest man on track because he is the only man on track right now, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't think he'd live it down if he binned it.
I don't think he'd live it down at all. So we know Lee Davis never lived down his safety car moment where he decided to mow the grass at one of the circuits.
Plenty of pressure on this season too.
Definitely lots of pressure on as a safety car this season. All eyes are on them now. We've got they have about a 5-minute window where they've got all the airtime in the world, and I'm sure they're stressing out. I know I used to stress out doing my hot lap on the out lap. So, but I believe that's Craig Schultz done for the server, ladies and gentlemen. Drivers are going to be gridding up any moment now, and we'll get that grid up on board and see who's going to be leading the field of, I believe there's 30 odd cars in the field tonight. So it's definitely a big field and is going to provide plenty of action for the next 38 laps of racing. And we should see about an hour and 15 minutes of racing here for you, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how quick they want to punch out these laps tonight. And that is it for the safety car session. And now we get into the itty-gritty business of who's going to be leading away at the front of the field. We'll get that up on your screen right now for you, ladies and gentlemen, as all the cars grid up, and we'll fly through them so we can get the race underway for the Devon Stove Designs RedBullring 160. Jamie Davis, Simon Vella off the front row as usual. Those two locking it out. Brian Good, Troy Allen out of row 2. Troy Allen with an absolutely spectacular last lap there. Scotty Barton, Robbie Bradbury out of row 3. David Nash, Justin Pennefather, row 4. Row 5 we'll see Kyle Zink, Bruce Tannick line up together. Row 6 we'll see Mark Turner and Timmy Mulford. Out of row 7, Anthony Visma, Stephen Martin. Row 8, we'll see Anthony Moore, Jonathan Bain. Row 9, Tony Gaffer, Jason Schooler. Row 10, Peter Kelly, Daniel Schultz, Stephen Lawrence, Robert Brewer out of 11, Benny Sorenstead Miller out of 12. Out of 13, we'll see Craig Casper, Gary Crittenden. Out of 14, we'll see Tommy Foster, Andrew Johnson, Alex Schuler, and Craig Gurry will leave out of 15. And Will Yersberg will back up the field here. But we are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. Barney the flagman's ready to drop the green flag, and there he goes. Jamie Davis leads the field away, but a spectacular start by Simon Vella. Managed to get those Dunlop slicks hooked up, and he takes the lead into the first corner. Jamie Davis is going to battle it now down the front straight. There's already contact between Troy Allen and Brian Good. They're in the middle of the track. What's the rest of the field going to be doing through there? Can they sort themselves out? And by the looks of it, it's just Troy Allen and Jonathan Bain that have, Jonathan Bain and Troy Allen, both teammates have lost out. Brian Good as well lost out, as Jamie Davis leads him through turn 3 for the first time. Down into turn 4 they go. Simon Vella in the slipstream. They've already capped the field by 2 seconds. Teammates Nash and Tannick just behind them. In hot pursuit of Robbie Bradbury. Robbie Bradbury's going to have to go defensive in the turn 4. Just behind them, Scotty Barton, then Kyle Zing. Justin Pennefather, Mark Turner, Anthony Visma rounding out your top 10.
These guys are going to have to get their order sorted out soon so they don't let the front two really just streak away here. Battling does cost you a lot of time around this track.
Battling it does, and it's already showed dividends. Robbie Bradbury only 2 seconds down the road though from Jamie Davis and Simon Vella. They got a blistering start down the front straight with all that commotion going on behind them. And Tony Gaffer got mixed up and all that, and so did Benjamin Siren. So Brian Good, Jonathan Bain, Troy Allen, Tony Gaffer, Benny Siren got caught up into that turn 1 incident. We'll get a Goodyear Auto Care run at replay as they come across the line to start lap 2.
Poor old Brian Good. I've given him the kiss of death early, but let's hope he can get back and recover after that one. It's be interesting to see whether
curse.
to see whether he get on the power here or not.
Goodyear Auto Care run a replay for you, ladies and gentlemen, of the restart. And we're on board here with Jonathan Bain to see exactly what happened to him. He got a little bit of a tag at the back end of the field by one of the Century Motorsports crews. And that, by the looks of it, number 412, that looks like Scowler. So, Jason Scowler giving Jonathan Bain a little bit of a tag. And then Gary Crittenden just tags the front end of Jonathan Bain there as well. So that's incident number 1. And there is, there we go, 412 drive-through penalty for car contact with the 019 on lap 1. So, Jason Scowler sees himself going through a pit lane drive-through on that one. And we'll see if we can get a replay of incident, or the main incident that happened about halfway out of turn 1 there. And that involved Brian Good and Troy Allen, the Middle Finger Racing. And I believe Brian Good is the Frog Leap Racing entry as well. So we'll try and get a replay of that. Here it is right now for you, ladies and gentlemen, of what exactly happened here. On board with Troy Allen, drives up the inside of the right, boys, gives Brian Good a little bit of a tap, and then they both go around for good measure and just block up the field. And the drivers did extremely well to avoid that one, Dean.
Yes, there could have been a lot of cars with damage after that one, but the guys were alert to it. So I'm going to move here with David Nash on Robbie Bradbury into turn 1. So nice move there. 2 of our guys making their way up through the field, so it's good to see.
Scotty Barton jumps up on the inside of that one too, and Kyle Zink goes fastest lap of the race so far, 1:31.57 for him. On board the 9.5 Sim Sport machine now, Kyle Zink. As they run up to turn 4. Damien Davis, Tom Vella, Bruce Tannick, David Nash, Scotty Barton, Kyle Zink, Justin Pennyfather, Robbie Bradbury, Stephen Martin, Daniel Schultz. Your current top 10 right now, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel Schultz, the biggest mover of the group so far. Starting down in 20th position, has found himself battling inside the top 10 and all over the back now of Stephen Martin. So a nice little gain from Daniel Schultz there. But Jamie Davis, Simon Vella has altered from Bruce Tannick there. And Jamie Davis has got himself a little bit of a gap now of 1.3 seconds over Simon Vella. Looking back now on Daniel Schultz though from the back end of the Stephen Martin Century Motorsports as they wind their way through 6, 7, 8. Should I say 5, 6, 7 and 8. And then up the back straight to 9. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit of stretch. Daniel Schultz runs a little bit wide. That'll cost him an off track on that one. There goes his clean race, running a little bit wide again. So, trying to make up that ground and trying not allow Timmy Mulford to get up alongside. Timmy Mulford does have a look at this. That's a different bit of a view for you, ladies and gentlemen. See the cars dart around as quick as they can. And then Stephen Martin leaves the 2 drivers for dead, and 469 for a drive-through penalty for car contact on the 105. So that would be, that's Brian Good. Brian Good gets a drive-through penalty for that one. That's a bit interesting in my books there, Dean.
Yeah, that one is taking us by surprise, considering he was the car in front, but maybe there's something we missed there on the broadcast, but, you know.
I don't think we missed much. We saw most of it on the replay there. We clearly saw Troy Owen had a little bit of a tag of Brian Good. There's the one on the right, boys, have spun around in the sand trap. Who's that? That's Bruce Tannick. Bruce Tannick goes for a trip into the kitty litter.
He's dropping all the way down the order too. He's just having to wait there for everyone to go past.
Goodyear Auto Care on a replay of this one. David Nash in hot pursuit of Bruce Tannick. And Bruce Tannick just locks a bit of the rear. Yep, locks the rears up and around he goes. Came in just a little bit too hot. Backs it up off the track for good measure so he doesn't take anyone out. And drivers just file on past him. He's seen himself all the way down to now in 22nd position. So unfortunate there for Bruce Tannick. But on board now with Scott Barton. I was about to say, I know that helmet is on from somewhere, and it's definitely Scotty Barton. So the number 90, Scotty Barton, Cole Zink in hot pursuit. And Cole Zink sees himself in 5th position now, up 4 positions from where he started, and David Nash up 4 positions in 3rd position. So Scotty Barton all over the back of Nash, Zink all over the back of Scotty Barton, and it's a three-way battle for 3rd position here as they see themselves coming down into turn 4.
Yeah, Scotty Barton's been pretty consistent over the last couple of rounds, so he's just had a couple of errors late in the race, but he's been consistently up the front of the field, so looking forward to seeing him go all the way in this race.
It's definitely one to pay attention of, isn't it, Dean? The up and coming drivers. I mean, we've seen quite a few. Justin Pennefather, for instance, we saw him, or I saw him when I was first doing started season 2. Round 1, those guys were down the back of the order a bit. They've found their drive, their mojo a little bit, and they've finally seen themselves coming up into the top 10. Timmy Mulford being another one. We know Timmy Mulford is a very, very hard racer, and he makes that car as wide as he can. And he's starting to come up through the ranks now and placing some good finishing positions. So one to watch out for though is Anthony Bisma. We know he can really steer the wheels off that supercar, and unfortunately, big nudge there on Daniel Schultz by Tim Mulford. That's going to be a drag race into turn 1, ladies and gentlemen. Timmy Mulford across the start-finish line they go into turn 1. Daniel Schultz goes wide to try and get the run around the outside. He gets it done. Schultz around the outside. This promotes Visma now into the battle. Anthony Visma, we were just talking about him. It's a 3-way drag race down the front straight, ladies and gentlemen, into turn 2. Into turn 3, they're going to be going under brakes. Visma looks to get Timmy Mulford. Visma backs out just a little bit. Up on the inside of Mulford he goes. 2 wide again. And Timmy Mulford's able to hold off.
I was going to say, matey, look how strong the outside line is in terms of defending, where cars are trying to get the move done on the inside. When you go into the corner, the lead car is able to hold that position on exit. Because it's just faster to be on the outside line there on the exit, especially in turns 1 and 2.
The drive off the outside line was definitely one to watch, and Daniel Schultz got that out of turn 1, and then out of turn 3, Timmy Mulford got the drive over Anthony Bisma, and this has promoted a big battle behind him. Mark Turner, Adam Moore, Robert Brow, Stephen Lawrence, Peter Kelly. It's a 6, 7, 8 car battle now for 10th position, ladies and gentlemen. So this one should be going all the way to the first pit stops, and we'll try and stay on board with the majority of the race. The leaders have checked out from the field. Jamie Davis is controlling the race. There's a car off. That looks like it's Mark Turner. Mark Turner into the combing rail. Out of the final corner, looked to catch the sausage curve there, and it just got him into the combing rail. Runs wide, Mark Turner. And then what happens through here? Just a little bit too much gas on the exit. Tries to recover it. And cops himself hard on the side into the combing rail. And hopefully that's not too much damage for Mark Turner on the steering. It looks like he copped the front right there a little bit deep.
Yeah, that could potentially just give him a bit of aero damage, which is going to be costly here at this track. If and when he does get back going. A bit unfortunate for Mark, but it is a bit of another one losing the back end here.
Oh, Stephen Lawrence with a big slide. Robert Brow gets up on the inside of him, and unfortunately Peter Kelly was the worst one off there and had to back out just a little bit as he got tagged by Stephen Lawrence as well. So all action going all over the field, ladies and gentlemen. That 8-car battle for 10th position has now gone back to just Timmy Mulford and Anthony Bisma. And then it's Peter Kelly, Stephen Lawrence battling out for 15th position. Alex Schuler just behind them. Timmy Mulford on the charge now to Daniel Schultz. He's only a second down the road, so now it's a 3-way battle for 9th position as Timmy Mulford manages to chat right up onto the back of Daniel Schultz there. And Scotty Barton, Justin Pettifer, Cole Zink, Nash, Vella, Davis. They're just running their own race out the front of the field there tonight, Dean.
Yeah, they're in the box office there at the moment where they're not battling anyone, so they're able to focus on consistency, which is so crucial here. You just seen there before when a couple of cars were trying to perform overtaking maneuvers, how much time they were losing to the cars around them, and that will be a factor right through the race, especially in the midfield. So, the guys at the front, yep, they're in clear air, and they're just focusing on that consistency and the traction out of these sharp corners early in the lap.
Jason School, Troy Owen and Brian Good have just got the move done on Andrew Johnson from E1 Sim Racing to finally claw back just a couple positions and try and fight their way back up to the front of the field. But those guys are really, really buried down at the back of the pack there. Mark Turner, unfortunately, sitting all the way down in 28th position after that big incident that he had out of the final corner there. But all eyes at the moment are on this battle here. Stefan Lawrence, Peter Kelly, and Alex Schuler now joining into the mix for this one. Bruce Tannick not too far down the road from them, just 1.9 seconds as well, ladies and gentlemen. You can see him just in the picture there. And then fastest lap just goes to Simon Bella with a 131.28, my apologies. Jamie Davis at 131.34. So Simon Bella now looking to claw back some time to Jamie Davis, which he is doing, and then just lost out on about a second there. And by the looks of it, oh no, my apologies, my timing screen just messed up on me. He's gained 0.2 of a second on him. So my timing screen's going a little bit haywire over the shot. Now it's jumped up to 2.5 seconds, so maybe a little bit of mistakes from Simon Bell. We'll let you know what's going on there when the next laps come through. We'll be able to tell what happened to Simon Bella on that one. But at the moment, I'm broad now with the E1 Sim Racing. Robert Brewer is currently sitting nice and comfortably in 12th position, up 10 spots from where he started from, and he's having a nice, comfortable race tonight. Only 8/10 behind him is Adam Moore, and then it goes back to Craig Casper, Stephen Lawrence, and Peter Kelly. So a lot of neat battles at the moment down in the mid pack to the back of the pack at the moment, Dean.
Yeah, this is where we'll see most of the action for the race. It's interesting to note, Jamie spoke last week in the post-race about how he didn't get his qualifying right, and how that could be a factor in him potentially taking race wins. And tonight he got up there on the front row, or the second row, if memory serves me correctly. So he's put it exactly where he wanted to after having some early season struggles in qualifying. But, for the mid pack runners, following cars, the aero wash, the brake mark, especially in downhill into turn 4, you've seen a couple of cars rotate on the rear end there. You'll see that downhill braking section become even trickier as the tyres wear off and the fuel load drops out of the car. So, these guys need to make those adjustments and make the changes to their brake zones to compensate for that. Otherwise, we could see a few incidences in that corner.
Now it goes uphill into turn 1, would I be correct?
It does. It actually banks up really strongly into turn 1, which it's all about maintaining momentum in turn 1. So that uphill section, if you overbrake, you lose all the speed, then you don't carry it up that next long straight. So crucial corner.
Lots of undulation around RedBullring, that's for sure, ladies and gentlemen. As we see now, the battle for 15 starts to really lighten up. Bruce Tanny's caught up to the back of Alex Schuler now. So the battle for 15th is really, really starting to heat up. And while we've got Jamie Davis out to a nice, comfortable 2.5 second lead now over Simon Bella, and Simon Bella must have made a mistake. We'll jump on for it, crank up the volume, ladies and gentlemen. So why not turn up that volume and listen to Jamie Davis bring the neck out of this V8 car around the Red Bull Ring. ladies and gentlemen. Jamie Davis, our current race leader, just before he makes his first pit stop as well. We're lap 12 of 38 here, ladies and gentlemen. And the laps have sort of skipped away from us while we've been focusing around the mid-pack. But how about that? Jamie Davis taking us for a bit of a crank up the volume lap. You really hear him wring the neck out of that Ford Mustang there. And here we go. It's back on again between Schultz, Mulford, Visma, and Robert Brower sees himself up into the battle now. So it's a four-way battle for ninth position, ladies and gentlemen. And this is really heating up before our first compulsory pit stops. Timmy Mulford goes around the outside. He saw what he was able to do with Anthony Visma. Tries to do the over and under, can't get it done. Loses a lot of pace though. Anthony Visma has to check up. This now promotes Robert Brower up the inside of Visma. Robert Brower gets the position on Visma and he sees himself in 11th position. Gets the inside run for turn 4. Can Visma hold the outside line though? That's the question. Around the outside Visma goes. Can he get it hooked up? No, he can't. He's on the dirty racing line. Robert Brower sees himself up in 11th position and hunting down Timmy Mulford. Good move by Robert.
Nice move there, by Rob. Sorry. Just with Mulford and Schultz there into turn 2, just created a bit of a concertina effect there with the cars. So Rob was able to take advantage of that. So well done to him.
Took the advantage very, very well. That's for sure. And now he's on the hunt to Timmy Mulford as he's battling out with Daniel Schultz there for 9th position. So this is going to be a battle that's going to go right up into pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. This could promote Adam Moore into the mix. Robert Brown now goes defensive over Visma. Schultz goes defensive over Mulford. Mulford decides to try and go around the outside. Can he get it done? The over and under to get the run. Now sees himself on the outside for the run. Slipstream side by side. Robert Brown gets a bit of a slipstream, has a bit of a blip. Now it's going to be a 4-way drag race down the straight, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Brown really tucked up into that slipstream behind Schultz. He's nose out to have a look. Timmy Mulford around the outside said, thank you very much. Can he get it done? No. Anthony Visma goes up on the inside. Robert Brown goes up the inside of Mulford now and attacks Daniel Schultz. Timmy Mulford loses out 2 positions for the price of 1. How about that for some interesting racing, ladies and gentlemen? Into turn 4. Visma gets a little bit squirmy under brakes. And this is some decent action.
Yeah, that was that was unfortunate for Timmy. I actually thought that he positioned himself well there to drive around the outside. I think Schultz just got in too close or in too shallow there into turn 2, and he come across there to check up Timmy on the exit, which is good for him. But he's going really defensive. So if someone's willing to go around the outside here, I think he can be taken.
Anthony Visma goes hard on the defensive. Robert Brown goes hard around the outside. Daniel Schultz into the pits for the first of the pit stops. He's going to try and undercut him and try and make a little bit of a gap over him. Robert Brown now sees himself go up, but Jamie Davis, Simon Fowler, Cole Zing, all our leaders are in the pits. Nash, Pennyfather, Bradbury, Brewer stay out. Lawrence stay out. But everybody behind Brewer sees themselves going into the pits. And that's Mulford, Schultz, Moore. Schultz into the pits.
Was that Bruce Taddick maybe electing to take a short fill there?
Jason Scowler. No. Jamie Davis. I'm trying to see who's just made the big move up there on the inside, on the pit lane there, ladies and gentlemen. I can't exactly tell. It's one of the... Jamie Davis sees himself still commanding the potentially the race lead, the 226.
Craig
Gurry. So he's missing the front end of his Ford Mustang.
Potentially be around at the last corner, I'd say.
I'm definitely going to say, yeah. So we'll just try and find out who's made up the positions there, ladies and gentlemen. Who hasn't will sort themselves out. Will Yesberg sees himself actually battling it out now with Jason Schooler. He's I think Will Yesberg's made the big up there. Will Yesberg's up 22 positions currently. He's already pitted once, but only for 11.23 seconds.
I think he was in on lap 1.
4 seconds abreast, though, is Jamie Davis over Simon Vella, ladies and gentlemen. So Jamie Davis, and Dean, you mentioned he wanted to get the qualifying down pat. He got that down pat. He spent a lot of time this week really focusing on the 1 lap speed and with the pressure as well, that 1 lap that they've got to do. And he's managed to convert that into some serious race pace, and got himself over a 4.5 second lead now over Simon Vella, and maybe he can steal that 3 on the trot away from Simon Vella. But currently it's Davis, Vella, Nash, Pennyfather in 4th position, Barton in 5th, Bradbury, Zink, Martin, Schultz, and Timmy Mulford now rounding out the top 10. And the undercut for Schultz, Mulford, Bismarck, and I was about to say Moore, but Robert Brewer got the jump on Moore there. Those 3, Schultz, Mulford, Bismarck, got the undercut done on Brewer, and Brewer sees himself back in 12th position and having to do all that hard work again to get back up on the inside of those guys and find himself in the top 10. But on board at the moment with Scotty Barton all over the back of Justin Pennefather. Pennefather runs a little bit wide, but manages to maintain the pace over Barton. And Barton can't do much about it, but just sit in the slipstream as they go through 8 and try and get a run on Pennefather into 9 and get a little bit closer to make the big run down the main straight into turn 1. He's getting closer. He's edged a little bit closer through the final corner. That car will stay on board for you, ladies and gentlemen, with Scotty. And watch the slipstream come into effect right about now. Under the Red Bull sign they go. Barton looks up the inside, dives it hard on the brakes up the inside of Pennefather through turn 1. But Pennefather, does he have the run out the outside of Barton? He does. Scotty goes to the inside to play defensive. Going to be a drag race up to turn 2 and 3, ladies and gentlemen. Barton hard on the brakes again. Justin Pennefather, can he go around the outside? No. But he gets the run. Scotty Barton gets a middle wheel spin. This now promotes Pennefather back up the outside. And how about this, ladies and gentlemen? Dean called it earlier on. You're going to be seeing cars go 2 wide for half a lap, and we've just seen it right now. Barton now up the inside again. Gets the move done on Pennefather, seals the deal as they go through the right-hander of 5.
Yep, having that outside line so strong always means that you can come back. Even if you sort of lose the position in the first half of the corner, you can always hold it around the outside. So once drivers start to realise that, you'll start seeing these battles go longer and longer, and there's really only a couple of corners where you can really cement the move, where you need to fall back into single file. So good move by Scotty there, and you know, he did what he needed to do. You could see there traction out of turn 2 was really difficult for him, and that allowed Pennefather back around the outside. But
Simon Vella into the pits. Sorry to cut you off there, Dean. Simon Vella into the pits. So that's big news. Simon Vella now drops out a second and he's plummeting down the order. That promotes David Nash in the 2nd position. Haven't seen much of Nash over the past few weeks, ladies and gentlemen. And we know he's a dominant driver, but he can't seal the deal and get a race completed without having a big incident. So David Nash up in 2nd position. Scotty Barton now sees himself in 3rd. He's got himself a podium position. And Justin Pennefather is now staring down the eyes of a podium position towards the end of the race if they finish like this.
That's interesting.
Bradbury Zink just behind them though.
Yeah, something must have happened there to Simon. I didn't see anything come up on screen, but yeah, in terms of a drive-through penalty, but you know, it's unfortunate for him if there's something come along the lines, because he was in clean air there for the first half of the race.
Lap 17 to 38, ladies and gentlemen, on board now with David Nash from the right sim racing crew, and his teammate Bruce Tannick just behind them, or just behind him. Oh, is that Craig Gurry? Craig Gurry, oh no, that is Bruce Tannick. I believe I saw the 1, 2, 3 there.
Yeah, I think Bruce has had another moment. So
yeah, Bruce has had another moment. Unfortunately, missing the bonnet over his Commodore supercar. But Nash currently sitting 2nd position. And 6.3 seconds abreast ahead of him is Jamie Davis from the AutoServe crew over there, and he's out to a demanding and, well, not sure I say demanding, but commanding lead as we see Gary Crittenden pop out of the pit lane. And Steve Bella. Simon Bella's now down in 24th position. My apologies, not Steve Bella, Simon Bella. 24th position after a 34.3 second pit stop. So I wonder what's happened to Bella there. That's a big, interesting key factor. Might have to flick a few messages across the Century Motorsport team, see what's going on, and find out what exactly has happened to Bella, because that's unusual for Simon to, especially going for 3 on the trot. Dean, it's unusual to see a driver like that just drop straight into pit lane and drop all these positions as we see. By the looks of it, that was Craig Casper and Mark Turner there. So Mark Turner getting the move done on Craig Casper. Dean?
Yeah, he held him out there, yeah.
Oh, safety car.
Okay, this is
Safety
interesting.
car out on track lines. Now there it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. We see safety car get deployed. We wonder what it's for, because we've seen no major incidences pop up for the replay. And unfortunately, Tommy Foster is in the wall and doesn't look like he's going anywhere. Goodyear Auto Care will run a replay for you, ladies and gentlemen. Find out exactly what happened. Iridium 6-4 driver just behind him. There's a fair bit of distance, so it might not be any contact. I think Foster just copped a little bit of rear brake lock. Yep.
Yeah, that.
Poor man. That is unlucky as unlucky can be there, ladies and gentlemen. Locks the rears, goes to slide against the wall, and unfortunately, iRacing with their amazing glitches has seen Tommy Foster find himself caught up in the wall now. So, but Dean, back to what I was saying, unusual to see a driver going for 3 on the trot just pulling a pit lane and drop all the way down the field.
Yeah, and I didn't see anything flash up on screen, and it just sort of, it makes you think, well, maybe he's missed something or underfueled the car too much in the pit stop. But it'd be interesting to see. I'm sure they'll be sort of scrambling there now to see how they can take advantage of this safety car, whether they can get him back up. You know, I'm not too sure, trying to do the math on the fly, but he could do a splash and dash and essentially try. He can maybe stretch to 16 laps with a safety car, so we're almost in that window. He's just going to be shy of it.
He might have to do the splash and dash right at the end of the safety car period, depending if we have a 3-lap safety car. Usually car buried in the wall promotes 3 laps on the track for the safety car, so that'll see us out to lap 21, lap 22. So if you can stretch it out to a 16, between 16 and 18 laps, Simon Bella could potentially come home with the biggest undercut that we've seen of the season. We saw Mark Turner try and do it, and unfortunately just ran out of juice and had to do a splash and dash last week. And that would have been one of the biggest undercuts we've ever seen in the RSRA and across the GAC as well. But definitely unusual for Bell to be buried that far down. Hopefully the Century Motorsport crew can find a way to get Simon back up the field whilst under the yellow flags, and the field being controlled by Craig Schultz here in the safety car. But your top 10 as it stands, ladies and gentlemen, goes Davis, Nash, Barton, Pennyfather, Bradbury, Zink, Martin, Schultz, Mulford, and Robert Brewer. Hopefully he can find himself on the podium one night and we can get the correct pronunciation of the last names. There's quite a few in here that I do tend to struggle with as well, ladies and gentlemen. So if you do know how to pronounce it, drop it in the comment section for us, because that'd be greatly appreciated. JP can liaise that one into my ear and correct me on how to pronounce it. But it's Davis with what did have a demanding lead over Nash, but now Davis finds himself behind a safety car, and Nash will be breathing hot on the back bumper of that Ford Mustang. It'll
be interesting as well. There, we do have a bit of difference of strategy in the front 2 cars. I think Nash did go longer, so it is just over 3 litres of fuel here per lap. So he's going to be able to take less fuel in this next stop. So if he can hang on to the back here of Davis, we could see a change of order in pit stop.
Yeah,
It's
there's
a
only
tough ask.
0.5, half a second difference between the pit stops for a lap longer. But Davis might be able to have a bit of a run here on Nash and get some distance out. So we know he's quick with his 1 lap dash. But the safety car is coming in this lap, ladies and gentlemen. There it goes. It escapes the field there. Hands the field over to Jamie Davis for the restart. And we'll be starting the race back on lap 21. Or as they go across the line, we'll start lap 21 of 38 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And David Nash is not going to be let Jamie Davis out of his sights. Quiz, thank you to Goodyear Auto Care Run and Nationwide Technology Systems, Racecraft Simulations, DSL One Services, Blue Stampede Labour Hire, Dragon RC, Devon Stove Design, FU Suicide, SimShed Broadcasting, Track Cams for Gourmet, and SDK Gaming. And that was probably one of the quickest sponsor runs I've ever done. Jamie Davis gets the run on David Nash, though. Tries to escape, but David Nash read the restart like you wouldn't believe. And look at that, they managed to jab button by 1.5 car lengths. David Nash all over the back bumper of Jamie Davis now as they go through turn 1 on the restart. Down the front straight they go. Into turn 2 as they go flicking over to the left. They line it up for turn 3. And the tyres are all cooled off, so he's not going to be playing any big games. Try and throw it up the inside. But Jamie Davis has got that auto-serve Mustang hooking up like no tomorrow. And you can see it there, ladies and gentlemen. He's able to skip away out to a 6/10 of a second lead.
Yeah, he got the traction there down pat coming out of turn 3. But I'm curious, like Nash will be trying like hell to hold on to the back of him here, and I think, got one forced wide out there. Yeah.
A little bit of a bump and run there by one of the middle finger racing boys. And this battle between Schultz, Mulford, Brewer, and Turner's now found himself in the mix of it now as well. But let's get try and find a quick look at that replay of the bump and run from one of the middle finger boys. And we'll get a whole shot for you. Well, it's Mark Turner on Anthony Visma by the looks of it. Mark Turner on Anthony Visma throws it up the inside. He's up far enough, all right. He's passing by the time he's even got to the apex there, ladies and gentlemen. And bit of a bump with the rear wheel as Visma comes down on Turner, pushes Visma wide. Mark Turner says, see you, mate, I was well and truly clear of you. Bump and run, check, says textbook as possibly can be. That sees Visma now trailing Timmy, sorry. Who's Visma now trailing? I'm trying to find his name. Craig Casper, sorry. So Craig Casper and Thesau Wallace. Robert Brewer, though, all over the back of Adam Moore. Robert Brewer's having a run of his life at the moment tonight. He's up as high as he's been, I believe. He's currently up 10 positions from where he started in 12th, battling it out for 11th position here against Adam Moore. And there's a big slide in the background. Big slide, Troy Allen. And that's collected 3 cars all the way through. Brian Good and Alex Schuler are in the mix of that one. That was a big incident, see?
Yeah, well, this is this downhill braking section again. They're going 3 wide. Yeah, he was trying to defend the line there, and there was a car outside him, but it's one of those things where you can get stuck together with cars there.
Another off-board shot of this if we can to try and dissect what exactly happened. Troy Allen got a little bit of help. So just trying to see what car number that is. I think that might be Brian Good.
That might be Brian Good.
That is Brian Good. Brian Good giving Troy Allen a little bit of a help down the straight here. So Brian Good comes down on Troy Allen. Troy Allen's sort of bit of right hand down on the wheel, but Brian Good's a bit of left hand down on the wheel. They've come together at just the wrong moment, and Brian Good knew straight away what he'd done and tried to shoot it off to the kitty litter to avoid getting taken out by the flying Troy Allen. And that sees quite a few drivers affected by that. Quite a few had to take evasive action around that one. And Alex Schuler was one of them.
Just a little bit clumsy there. Boys tripping over each other, but you know they're trying to get back up the order. It's you're at a hiding to nothing on the inside line there in that corner, I think. So needed to be a little bit more patient there.
There it is, 469 of Brian Good. Car contact. Will drive through for contact on the 105 at lap 22. So that one was pretty blatantly obvious for race control, and they were able to quickly dish that one out. But if we jump to the front of the field here, as we're on board at the moment with Cole Zink, we go right up to the front of the field. Jamie Davis has not been able to escape the wrath of David Nash. Scotty Barton's going with him. Justin Pennyfather is going with him as well. So it's a 4-car battle for position 1, the lead of the race as we start lap 24 of 38, ladies and gentlemen. The others, they're only separated by 2-car distances each, but it's all within a second of each other. They're all within a second of each other, and that's enough just to hold the pace and the slipstream around a track such as the RedBullring and keep yourself in contention as we start to near the last lot of pit stops, ladies and gentlemen. 15 laps to go. The last lot of pit stops about to happen, and it could be a do or die moment on pit road.
Ooh,
Oh, there's a car facing the wrong way. Car facing the wrong way at a blind corner as well. And luckily it's a slow corner. Goodyear Autocare on a replay of this one. Dean, talk us through it.
I noticed Stefan had a little bit of a moment in the lap prior here with the rears locking up. He's gone for a late move. This could be problems getting power down on the exit here. Oh, Visma's come around. Okay.
Oh, Anthony Bismarck gets the tag.
Yep, he's just come. He's lost the rear end there, obviously in the middle of the corner. Bit of rear lock. Bit unfortunate for Stefan Lawrence there because he's just an innocent bystander.
Very innocent bystander on that one. Stefan Lawrence, it's unfortunate on that one. And Visma was having such a good race as well. And he's now buried in 19th position, and unfortunately not going to be going anywhere fast because by the looks of his car's got a little bit of aero damage. But there is still one pit to go, or pit stop to go. So hopefully Visma can, well, there he goes. He's in the pit straight away to get that fixed up. 14 laps to go. He knows he can make it home on what he's got left in the tank. So he'll get that damage fixed up with the fast repair that these drivers have available to them. But David Nash now starting to find his groove finally after a few terrible weeks out on track. And he's wound Jamie Davis back into half a second. And is going to be trying to wheel that in a little bit closer. Jamie Davis, a little bit hard on the brakes. David Nash really deep on the brakes. So both mistakes by both drivers. And somehow they've both come out of that without a graze or anything go wrong. And now 6/10 behind Davis is Nash. And this is going to be a battle right to the end. Simon Vella, where's he hiding at? He's now found himself all the way back up to 14th position and on the charge. Still trying to find out what's going on with Simon Vella and why he dropped so far down the field so very quickly. David Nash into the pits, going for the big undercut. He knows he can make it home from here. That'll allow Scotty Barton. Joseph Pennefather now in the pits. So Nash and Pennefather try the big undercut. Stephen Martin into the pits now. Timmy Mulford into the pits.
That's a good strategy call there because both Nash and Pennyfather, looking at the timing, they went one lap longer on the first stint. So they should be aiming for a quick outlap and potentially a shorter fill as well, having done that extra long stint there at the start. So this could be very interesting how these pit stops play out.
Well, you know how long the pit stops are, ladies and gentlemen. David Nash in the pit box now, 15 seconds already ticked by. 15.6 to be exact. David Nash is out of his pit box. And Simon Vella pits early as well. And Justin Pennefather, 15.97. So they're going to be going for the big undercut here. And just behind Nash and Pennefather is Anthony Visma. So Anthony Visma is going to try and make it home with a big undercut to try and make a jump on the rest of the drivers that were in front of him. But what does Jamie Davis do here, ladies and gentlemen? Does he pit now, or is he going to try and go for that extra lap? He'll be getting low on fuel.
He's got to
Dean, if you're
respond.
Jamie Davis, you'd have to respond now.
Yeah, you've got to respond now. I would fully expect him to be coming in this lap as he
There
does.
he goes.
Yep, crucial. He can't afford to give any more time up to the cars behind, especially if they did have to not take as much fuel.
469 drive-through penalty for the misuse of comms as well. And ladies and gentlemen, for those following at home, the misuse of comms rule is if you talk back to race control after being dealt a penalty, or you you use the comms really during the race. You're only allowed to use the comms while you talk to race control, and that is it, or to call race control to have a look at an incident. But Jamie Davis now in the pit box. Where's this bring David Nash? Scotty Barton! Scott Barton gets the jump over David Nash! Has Scotty Barton short-fueled himself? Barton gets the jump, Nash gets out in front of Davis, but Nash with the undercut. What can Jamie Davis do? Justin Pennyfather almost gets around Davis as well. So Jamie Davis pits 3 seconds longer. 3 seconds longer to Jamie Davis, and 4 seconds shorter to Scotty Barton.
That is
Scott
that's
Barton as he would have had to have underfueled himself for sure, Dean.
I think so. He potentially could have. You know, he might fancy himself for a bit of a fuel save run here. Or perhaps he maybe got more than what he bargained for. Maybe he was hoping to come out just a couple of cars up further up. But he has sat there patiently, and that is Scotty's strategy. I've seen it over the last couple of weeks where he's quite happy to let the more aggressive drivers through, and he just sits there and he just tags along. So, you know, I wouldn't put it past him that he is quite good on the fuel save.
We're about to find out what happens. Nash is blistering up to the back bumper of Scotty Barton, and they're 3 seconds abreast over Jamie Davis, who I believe has over-fueled himself for the run home. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, you still have to do the cool-down lap. The cool-down lap still takes up about 2.6 litres. Nash with the run on Barton now, though, into turn one. I believe Scott is just going to allow Nash by here. Not much of a fight to be given by Scott. And
Yep,
big pace difference there between Scott and Nash.
Yeah, he's just he's settled in there, so he's happy, obviously, to sit in the tow. So he's, you know, that could be a bit of an indicator that he is tight on fuel, but, you know, it'd be
Another
interesting
indicator
to
as well, Dean, and ladies and gentlemen, to take note of. Scotty Barton, as by looks of it, Cole Zink goes up the inside of one of the Century Motorsports crew, number 35, and that's Robbie Bradbury. So Cole Zink up the inside of Rat Bradbury there. Gets the move done nicely. You see there on your screen as well, ladies and gentlemen, Davis and Pennyfather battling it out there. But back to Scotty there, Dean. He's been waiting patiently all race in the slipstream too, so he may have saved just enough fuel to be able to hinder that 4 second earlier pit stop.
Yeah, I think he saved a fair amount there in the opening stints. Whether it's enough for 4 seconds, look, it could be. You know, just
Don't
rough.
forget, ladies and gentlemen, we've had safety car too.
Yeah,
Safety car does play a factor in all of this.
I think someone would have to clarify these numbers. I think it's about 1 second for every 3 litres of fuel to go in the car. So potentially there he could be, you know, 6 litres short of fuel. So that might equate to 2 laps. So you could save that on the safety car. So let's see how this one plays out. It's interesting, and you know, looking at Justin Pennyfather coming out there right at the back of Jamie Davis as well. Like, he's well positioned.
And Jamie Davis goes fast off the race lanes with a 1:31.17. Justin Pennyfather just behind him with a 1:31.27. Now they're all over the back of Scotty Barton. Scotty Barton is fuel saving. Scotty Barton knows he's underfueled himself. It's clear. Jamie Davis gets a big slide though. That allows Scotty to skip away just for one extra corner and promotes Justin Pennyfather now back into the battle. And Scotty knows and everybody says Scotty doesn't know, but Scotty knows, that he's underfueled himself to the finish and he's going to be losing out big time. He had a potential podium position and he's going to lose out. He's going to lose out to Justin Pennefather here.
I feel bad. I feel bad for Scotty. He's looked strong for the first 2/3 of the race, the last 3 or 4 weeks, and then something's just gone right the final third for him every race. So,
you gotta feel sorry for the man. He's had such a strong performance over the up and coming weeks as well, and unfortunately he's thrown it away with maybe just a brain fade. Who knows, ladies and gentlemen? As Tony Gaffer goes into the pits and now hand the lead to Jamie Davis for the race. David Nash for the race. I'm so being used to saying Jamie Davis all race long, because that's where he's been, but it's now David Nash making a redemption run after the past few weeks of bad races for him. But must have been a little bit of a brain fade for Scotty tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He's been running so well over the past couple of weeks and trying to get the jump over Jamie Davis. And he's jumped the gun by not just a little bit, he's jumped the gun by a lot. He is the shortest pit stop in the entire field. Tony Gaffer with a 12.10.
Davis squarely on the exit.
Oh, Jamie Davis has a little bit of a squirm on the exit. Promotes Justin Pennefather now into the battle. So Justin Pennefather could be seeing himself into a second spot position.
And Jamie's gone defensive here into turn 4.
Oh,
no.
Nash with a mistake.
They're all copying each other at the moment.
Nash with a big mistake, and that allows Davis to promote Davis within a second onto the bumper. Put your auto camera on a replay, ladies and gentlemen. We get a quick clip of this one, and I think Jamie Davis has just gone the old loop-de-loop around turn 4. Catches the curb, yeah, bit of a bounce, able to save it, get hard on the power again, and that's promoted a 5-way battle for the lead. So what happened to be a boring race, ladies and gentlemen, has just really turned on to the last 8 laps. Or for the last 8 laps, should I say. And Cole Zink now all over the back of Scotty Barton. So Cole Zink can go into 4th position here.
Yep.
Justin Pennefather playing patiently behind Jamie Davis. Zink gets the move done on Barton.
Yeah, it looks like he might have just done enough there, Kyle. Scotty's trying to come back on the outside, but just be back far enough there that he won't get it up alongside enough. But looks like the commentator's curse is working well now, Matty, because you said this one was going to be boring, but it looks like we've got 5 cars here for the lead of the race.
And it could be 6 very, very shortly. Robbie Bradbury coming into the mix as well. So what a race this has been, ladies and gentlemen. And then if you go a little bit further back, the 393. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing it. The 393, and you know what number that is. That's Simon Bella. He's found himself all the way back up inside the top 10. And he's sitting 7th position, and unfortunately with only 7 laps to go, a 13-second gap back to the lead for Simon Bella. I don't think he's going to be seeing himself up the front anytime soon, but what a fight back for that man from the Century Motorsport team right there. And Mark Turner, oh look at this, there's a big battle pack here. Mark Turner, Daniel Schultz, Stephen Martin, Timmy Mulford, Adam Mort, Robert Brock, all in the heat at the moment, battling it out for 9th, 8th position. So this is just the battle for 8th, ladies and gentlemen. So you've got the battle for 1st. That's between 6 cars now. Scotty Barton into the pits. Scotty Barton in the pits to get some fuel by the looks of it. So he knows he's not going to make it to the end. But we've got a battle of 4 for the lead. We've now got a battle for 6 for position 8. 6 cars for position 8. So is this race going to be seeing another mix-up in the top 10? David Nash with a big slide. Big slide. Jamie Davis now on the back bumper and giving him the pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, how about this for turning it on? The wick has turned up an extra notch, and the tyres are starting to fade. Nash runs wide. Hands the position to Davis. They run side by side through turn 5 into 6. Nash gets the inside run. Jamie Davis holds the outside. Side by side they go again. Davis tucks in behind Nash. Or if they keep battling, it's going to allow Pennefather and Zeke to get promoted into this battle. Even closer again.
Yeah, we just
No,
seen
we're-
Robbie Bradbury fall off the back, but you know, the more that this goes on like this, we're going to see both Bradbury and Vella eventually
Oh.
come into mix if the battle keeps raging like this too wide. A couple of moments there for David Nash. You know, he's allowed Jamie Davis right back onto the back bumper, and Davis is looking quite composed at the moment. So let's see how he responds to the pressure.
We know Davis is a strong finisher, and we know he's been working on maintaining those tyres. You see Nash is trying to use every last little bit of road as he possibly can to try and get those Dunlop tyres to look up. But Davis now in the slipstream, really starting to play effect. And really putting the pressure on Nash. Nash runs defensive. Davis with the over and under. And it's going to be a drag race to turn 4. Can Nash go defensive again? And Nash is able to get to the defensive side of the line. Davis with another slipstream run into 4. What's going to happen here? Around the outside, Davis can go. We know he's strong on the outside with those tyres. And I think they're just going to be doing the crisscross all the way around. Side by side, they come into 5, into 6, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. And Nash just with those little bit of stronger entry into 6. And Davis tucks back up on the bumper bar of Nash. Pennefather just playing a little bit patient here along with Zink. They know that if these two come together, it's going to hand them position 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then that'll give them the position of Robbie Bradbury for position 3. And there might be team orders if Simon Vella can get past Davis and Nash to hand the podium over to Vella. We'll have to see what goes on. Hopefully that's not the case where these drivers come together and we see all hell break loose, ladies and gentlemen. But this has been some absolutely action-packed racing. And the wick has definitely turned up in the dying laps, Dean.
It certainly is. You know, Jamie's applying all sorts of pressure here to David. He's got to go full defensive, so his lap times aren't going to be super quick. And you know, he's handling it all right at the moment, but Davis looks really, really ominous.
The drive Davis gets out of this corner over Nash is unbelievable. They're starting to mellow out a little bit now as the tyres even out, but Davis edging 1/100th of a second closer each and every corner, and that's going to be the matter of a move that's going to happen like now, ladies and gentlemen. Davis with a spectacular run out of 4. What can Nash do around the outside of 5? He goes the inside of 6. Nash goes. Davis around the outside. They scrub. They rub pedals. Davis gets pushed wide. Big slide by Davis, able to correct it and hold on to second position. But ladies and gentlemen,
It's
this is some of the tightest racing we have seen all race long. And it's in the closing moments of the race. Nash is trying to do the old redemption run and get back on the top step where he knows he belongs. He knows he can run with these boys. Big slide by Davis. How about that? That now allows Pennyfather and Zink to go around either side of Davis. And that's given Nash some breathing room. What can Pennyfather do on Davis now? He's got the run out of 1. Zink now wanting to go in. He's in the slipstream. Zink gets past Pennyfather. Zink all over the back bumper of Davis. Pennyfather out of the slipstream. Can Pennyfather get him on the brakes? Zink gets Pennyfather on the inside. No.
Oh.
Drag race into turn 4 between Zink and Pennyfather now. Zink gets around Pennyfather. Can he make it stick though into turn 4? Up the inside goes Kyle Zink. And Kyle Zink gets the move done and finds himself in a podium position.
Great move
6
by
positions
Kyle.
from where he started. Very, very great move by Kyle. And that's textbook racing right there, ladies and gentlemen.
It's tightrope stuff, isn't it? The pack's just shuffling through the course of the lap. You just don't really know who's going to get the traction down and who's going to get that better drive off the corner. But I thought Davis did well to defend that. I thought these two were coming for him in that manoeuvre.
Oh, I thought that one too, Dean. Don't you worry. And I thought Davis was about to lose the 2 to get the 2 for the price of 1 deal. And lose the 2 for the price of 1 deal, should I say that one. As they've come through the last corner, and Nash is going to start lap 36 of 38, ladies and gentlemen. And by the looks of it, if he doesn't have a big mistake, he could be home free. No commentators curse involved in this one. And I apologise if it does happen to David Nash. But Jamie Davis has got his work cut out for him for the next 2 laps. He's got Kyle Zink. We know the 9.5 boys are fast. We've seen it last night. And we're going to be seeing tonight while Zink pressures Davis for 2nd position. And this could be Kyle's best finish of the season so far. Justin Pennefather just behind them. And whilst all this battling's going on, Simon Bell has found himself up in the 6th position, only 8 seconds off the lead now. And unfortunately, or should I say 10 seconds off the lead. And unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to get onto the podium for Simon. So maybe we can find out still. We haven't heard back from the Century boys, but we'll no doubt find out what happened. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This battle has gone on all race long. Schultz, Mulford, Brewer, Moore, and Tony Gaffer now in the mix of this one as well. And this has been going on all race long. Battling it out for the top 10 to get a spot in the top 10, or should I say 2 spots in the top 10. And as I'm just getting off track from David Nash, so David Nash loses out a little bit of time there to Jamie Davis. We'll keep you updated as we watch this battle, ladies and gentlemen, for the battle for the 9th position right now. And 1 lap to go, or 2 laps to go, my apologies.
Davis
Right
looks
now.
like he's back within draft range now too.
He is. He's down to 1.1 seconds draft range. Kyle Zink out to a 2nd behind Davis. So what can Kyle Zink throw at Davis now? David Nash is trying to do damage prevention. And look at this for a battle. Timmy Mulford on Daniel Schultz. Can Mulford finally get up the inside of Schultz and get the move done? No. 469 with a driver drive-through penalty. Brian Good in the drive-through penalty books tonight. Car 85 drive-through penalty for moving under brakes, lap 35. The car 85, that's Timmy Mulford. Tim Mulford with a drive-through penalty. Oh no! All the hard work of this battling as he gets the move done on Daniel Schultz finally. And Timmy Mulford is going to be having a drive-through penalty on the 2nd last lap. David Nash has a 1 second lead now over Jamie Davis. As it comes round to start the final lap for the Devon Stove Designs RedBullring 160, ladies and gentlemen, for your Wednesday night motorsport RSRA Super 2 E-Series. And what a drive it has been from this man right here so far. And you can see a little bit of sand kicking up on the inside of that curve right there. Those drivers are really using the outside of that curve to get it onto the main straight and to try and get the best run they possibly can. But this man at the moment on screen, David Nash from the Riot Sim Racing crew. It was dominant last season, and here we go, race control. Both penalties were wrong. No drive-through penalty. So race control with a little bit of screw up. They do make mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. We are all human. As David Nash does not get the drive out of turn 3. And this could be devastating for Nash if he can't get this right on the final few corners. He's still got turn 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. 5 more corners to go for Nash. This is going to go down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. Through turn 5 they go. And it's a battle for the lead. It's a 3-car battle, mind you. Davis really pressuring Nash now as they go through 6. It's going to go down to the wire. Through 7 they come. Through 8. 2 more corners to go for David Nash. The approach to 9. In through 9 they go. 1 more to go for Nash. Roaring up to the final corner, turn 10. In through they come. We got a car off on the inside of the field there. David Nash takes victory in Austria for the Red Bull Ring 160, brought to you by Devon Stove Designs. What a race that has been from that man. And the pressure he has sustained from Jamie Davis and Kyle Zink in the dying stages of that race is unbelievable. But David Nash, welcome back to the top step of the podium, my friend. You have driven one spectacular race.
He'll be pretty stoked with that one, I think, Matty. To come where he qualified, move up, and then withstand that pressure from Jamie there at the end of the race. I know that Nashy would be. He's been wanting that result for some time now, so it's good to see him back in the winner's circle, and I hope I look as good as him when I'm 52.
You wouldn't think it, would you, mate? But that man can definitely wheel the hell out of that car right there, and a race driven absolutely superbly. He's been missed, a little bit unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen. For those following at home, they would definitely know. But for those who are just joining us for your first broadcast, should I say, of the RSA Super 2 E-Series, David Nash has been a little bit or should I say unlucky, should I say, over the past 2-3 weeks, with a couple races that just haven't gone his way at all, struck with a lot of drive-through penalties, or he's been caught up with incidents, and hopefully this is the change that he needed to get that motivation back, start mixing it up and chasing down Jamie Davis and Simon Vella there.
Yeah, the pace has always
And
been
I just
there.
get a little bit of an inbox from Sean McNamara there, the head honcho of the 9-5 boys, and I get the big message saying zinc. And yes, Sean McNamara, Kyle Zink with an absolutely spectacular drive as well to see himself on the podium. I believe that's his highest finish position as well in the RSA Super 2 E-Series as well, Dean. So spectacular drive by that man. But it's all eyes at the moment on David Nash as he does the old trip across the start-finish line to start the victory burnout. And a big tip in, and is by that man, and he's got plenty of room to do it. What a burnout that is, ladies and gentlemen. And that's one spectacular burnout. It's the best burnout we've probably seen all season long so far, across both nights as well, mind you. And I haven't seen that big of a tip in without hitting the wall or the grass. Could have jinxed him just there. He got awfully close. But David Nash lapping it up with this victory burnout. Oh, spoke too soon. Commentator's curse. He touches the grass, but nevertheless, before that, it was a spectacular 10 out of 10 burnout by David Nash as we start to drag the drivers into the commentary booth and to get some post-race questions underway. And what did I say, ladies and gentlemen? An hour and 15 minutes. We just went under that time frame. I think it was an hour and 14, hour and 13 from memory. So I don't have the server up in front of me. JP might be able to give me that one actually of how long we've actually been racing for. But no, definitely made it within a nice, comfortable time frame tonight for you, ladies and gentlemen, as we're waiting on one more driver to join us in the room, and that would be one Jamie Davis. And he shouldn't be too far away. Dean, though, quickly, mate, driver of the night for you.
Oh, that is a tough one. Look, I think Justin Pennyfather really impressed tonight. Just to sort of go a bit left field there with that one. Driver we seen last week that ran up the top of the field, but just didn't quite put it together. So it's nice to see another name join the leaders in the field.
Well, we'll get into the unofficial results for you, ladies and gentlemen. And Dean, well said as well for Justin Pennyfather, because he is one up-and-coming driver, that's for sure. But the unofficial results there for you, ladies and gentlemen. David Nash taking out your race win for round 8 at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Jamie Davis closely behind and gave David the pressure off, I'd say, a good 10 laps there, and a race to the end, and a race that will go down in the ages of the RSA Super 2 E-Series as well. That was absolutely spectacular. Cole Zink finishing up in 3rd position, Justin Pennyfather in 4th, Simon Vella in 5th, Robbie Bradbury in 6th position, Mark Turner sees himself come back to 7th, Stephen Martin in 8th, Timmy Mulford in 9th, Adam Moore will see you rounding out the top 10. And ladies and gentlemen, it's starting to become a very Ford-dominated field, and being a Lion man, I'm not a big fan of that. I know Chris Kisby will be absolutely ecstatic. But no, definitely Ford dominating this field. Tony Gaffett, Peter Kelly, Stead Miller, Bruce Tannick, Alex Schuler, Craig Casper, Will Jesberg, Scotty Barton. Unfortunate for that man right there. He was on for a podium and his first podium, and unfortunately short fueled himself and had to take a quick splash and dash and sees himself in 18th position. Daniel Schultz in 19th, Robert Brewer in 20th. And unfortunate for those guys, they dropped down the field after, by the looks of it, a little bit of an incident. Stephen Lawrence, Anthony Visma, 23rd to be Andrew Johnson, Troy Allen will be the last car finishing up on the lead lap. And then you go to Brian Good, Gary Crittenden, Craig Gary, Jonathan Bain, Jason Schooler, and Tommy Foster. And unfortunately, our retirees of the race, Jason Schooler and Tommy Foster. Jonathan Bain able to get the 75% race completion, so he'll be able to bank some points, luckily, and continue the charge on the championship board. But we'll get into some driver interviews for you, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll start off with our third place sitter from the 9-5 SimSport boys, and I believe it's the first time he's joining us in the commentary booth for this season, and I believe it's the highest finishing position he's had as well this season. Cole Zing, mate, congratulations on third position.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to finally be here.
Mate, I got one big screaming message from your team leader over there, Sean McNamara, and I got one big message saying Zinc. So I'm pretty sure Macca over there is absolutely ecstatic for the race win. But mate, your thoughts on the race and getting a third position tonight?
Well, yeah, like I had really great racing, like with numerous people. I can't even list everyone who, like we had good racing, good room. It was, very respectful. I'm actually a bit disappointed because previously I've had a gremlin with my fuel stop where it'll actually clear fuel, and I had that again tonight on my first stop. So I had a long first stop which cost me several positions. So I was confident for tonight, but you got to put it all together. So congrats to the guys ahead of me. They did the right thing. They did it well.
Mate, you insane. Fuel Gremlin, you've done well to come back from a few positions down from where you would like to have been, and who knows, you may have been able to pip Davis and Nash in the pit stop and get the big undercut on to take out your first race win as well. But nevertheless, mate, an absolutely fantastic drive. Coming from a street circuit and finally going into a bit of an open circuit, bit of a relief for you.
Yeah, it's I definitely prefer more of the flowing circuits. I'm not really a fan of hairpin and then 90-degree right, but yeah, I think this circuit has a really nice flow, and I really do like the mix up in what races, what tracks we go to throughout the season. So it's a good variety.
Red Bull Ring definitely throws some variety out there. You've got a lot of undulation, uphill braking zone, downhill braking zones. You've got fast left-handers, right-handers. You've got slow 90-degree corners, and then you've got to hold momentum through turn one as you break uphill. So definitely a nice track to mix it up at. But nevertheless, mate, congratulations on P3. Stick around, though, because we will get some more questions fired away at you and get some sponsor thanks as well as we move on to Jamie Davis, ladies and gentlemen, in position number 2, mate. A regular up in the booth now, that's for sure. And you mentioned last week you had to really knuckle down on your qualifying, and you did just that tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I practiced all week on that one lap pace, and yeah, it just showed right at the end of the session. Then I was able to just pin it together and nail it.
Mate, describe the feeling of when you do pin it together and you pull off what you think would be impossible, and you finally bag yourself not only a pole position start, but that lap time that you're chasing after to get where you want to be, whether it be the inside of the top 10 or top 5.
Yeah, the feelings fluctuate throughout the lap because some sections you're up, some sections you lose a little bit and stuff. But when you come across the line, you see the green, and then you see your name pop in first. It's a good feeling.
Mate, race-wise, you led for a majority of the race, and then unfortunately it all came down to your pit stop where David Nash was able to get out 3 seconds quicker than you. Was that a matter of the undercut by Nash getting it done nice and proper, or did you overfuel just a little bit?
Oh, definitely Nash benefited a lot from the undercut. I thought about pitting the same lap, but I thought I'll go that one extra. And as soon as I see Nash went in, I thought, yeah, he's going to have me.
And then obviously it was trying to claw back that time, and mate, you almost did that, finishing within half a second of Nash there, and what an entertaining race right to the end it was, and we thought it'd all be over and done with that big slide by you, but you'll manage to recover it coming out of the final corner and hold off Colesing and Justin Pennyfather for a number of corners, and then manage to claw yourself way back up to Nash. So, mate, your pace is definitely there, and you've just got to try and wrap it all together now to get another race win.
Yeah, that's it. Just keep chipping it away. What have we got? 4 rounds left. So just got to stay clean. The battle with Nash, he absolutely loved it. Little bit of Robbins racing. What I was saying. So all fair. No harm, no foul.
That's it, mate. That's it. Well, mate, stick around. We'll get some more questions following your way and a sponsor thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, from the right sim racing crew, and I believe my co-commentator, my offside, and my apprentice Dean has got the biggest grin on his face right now, seeing David Nash sitting up in the room with us tonight. Mate, congratulations. Welcome back to the winner's circle, mind you. It's been a few rounds coming, but you're back inside the winner's circle. You're on victory lane. And, mate, what a little bit of a redemption run for you after the few weeks that you've had.
You can rub that in a bit more if you like.
No,
It's I've no excuses. I've had a few work commitments drop around, but honestly, that last 5 laps to try to hold Jamie up, man, that was awesome. And we touched here and there, but we gave each other room, and yeah, it was. I was sweating. I'll give him that he just kept the pressure on me, but I knew that I did an extra lap, pit stop 1, so I knew I had a bit of fuel saving. So yeah, I knew that. I don't know what, Scott jumped out 2 seconds in front of me, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. So, but no, I managed to get the win.
well, I'll definitely say that Scotty underfueled himself by 4 seconds there. He had an 11-second pit stop to your 15, mate. So he underfueled himself by a country mile, and we thought he knew something that we didn't. We knew he was fuel saving a little bit in the slipstream, but obviously not enough because yourself, Davis, Sink, and Pennyfather just blitzed around him, and all of a sudden he was in the pit lane. So definitely underfueled himself there. Mate, RedBullring, definitely an entertaining track, very, very flowing, and obviously worked really well for you tonight in your strategy.
Yeah, it did. It's a tough track. Turn 1, if you don't get that right, you kind of just disheartened for the rest of the lap. So trying to not get an off track and hit that the sausage down there and light it up. Obviously Jamie had that pretty dialed in, so I could see him dropping on that corner every lap, and the turn 2 as well. So the rest was pretty good for me. So it was just those 2 turns that were just hurting a bit.
Mate, coming into fuel strategy as well now, and obviously not just fuel strategy, pit strategy as well. Tires are a big factor around RedBullring, and being such a hot track, was up in the up at 40 degrees today. Tires first stop or second stop?
Second stop.
Yeah, I think that might be the going rate. Jamie, what was you? Second stop for you as well?
Yeah, definitely the second stop for me.
And Kyle?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, well, I think that might be the running factor around there, Dean. I believe you do second stop as well.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, that's you want those fresher boots for the end of the race there. I think that was really the only way tonight.
We've seen, and don't mind you though, ladies and gentlemen, we have seen Mark Turner, Timmy Mulford run 19 laps plus on old tyres, and we've also seen Alex Court from the Super Series run long stints on those old tyres back in season 1 with his teammate Lassus, and we've seen them make it work. So it all comes down to the setup and the driver as well, ladies and gentlemen. So don't forget that one. Dean, you got anything to fire off to the boys?
Yeah. Have we got time, or we got to get through this iRacing maintenance? But I've got a few for them.
I think our server goes down at iRacing server goes down at 11. I think our race server goes down at 10:30. Would I be correct, JP? Oh, there we go. So race server's finishing up now. So Stephen Martin, Andrew Johnson as well, ladies and gentlemen, only drivers with clean race bonus points coming. So, but due to the iRacing having to close down the servers as well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, and our race server having to show up an hour early, we do have to blitz through this. So, Kyle, we'll go shoot to you, mate, for a quick sponsor. Thank you. And unfortunately, it's got to be such a short first trip in the commentary booth for you. But I'll let you have the floor for some sponsors, mate.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, yet again, glad to be here and wouldn't be able to do it without our sponsors, SRT Australia, Racecraft Simulations, Bowler Media, iClean Solar, Ipswich and Brisbane, Boss Surveillance, Racing Ears, Custom Ear Protection, AD3D, 3D printing services, and Cutting Edge Tracks. And, I'd definitely like to give a shout out to all my teammates. And, sadly, Ben couldn't make it. He had computer issues tonight. So, I was a Lone Ranger, but, he'll be back bigger and better.
I was wondering what happened to Benny Simon. I didn't see him make the race start, so that would explain why. So there we go. Thank you for clarifying that one. Jamie, mate, we'll hand you over some sponsors, and then we'll go to David.
Thanks, Matt. I'd like to thank AutoServe, which allows us to have wins, Wolfchester, High-Tech Oils, and Grip Clean. He spotted Tyson Hamner. He does an amazing job week in, week out. And yeah, everybody a part of this series, behind the scenes and the competitors. It wouldn't happen without you guys.
Nashy, mate, finish it up with your sponsors, mate.
It's Good Gear Warana, F Suicide, JP's SimShed Broadcasting, Bliss Homes, and just a shout out to Dean Reddit for coaching me through the auto blip.
Well, there we go. Those following home, Dean Reddit is the teammate of David Nash there. So
I'm getting stitched up, I think, Matty.
I think you might be there, mate,
Yeah.
as well. But nevertheless, mate, thanks very much, David, for that one. And ladies and gentlemen, our sponsors as well, Goodyear Auto Care Run, Nationwide Technology Systems, Racecraft Simulations, DSL Welding Services, Blue Stampede Labour Hire, Dragon RC, Devon Stove Design, FU Suicide, SimShed Broadcasting, Track Camps 4 Gourmet, and SDK Gaming. And we'll quickly wrap up into some unofficial championship points as well, if they're ready by JP. If he's able to whip them up nice and quick, we'll blitz through the top 10 for you, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie Davis with a lovely, lovely commanding lead now over the Century Sport boys. You got Jamie Davis, Robbie Bradbury, Simon Vella, Mark Turner, Adam Moore, Stephen Martin, Tony Gaffer, Kyle Zink, Jonathan Bain, and Scotty Barton surrounding out your top 10 there. And we'll let those cycle through for you. Dean, looking to next week, we go to Imola. Going to be an interesting one for the booth wise, but what do you reckon the drivers are going to be having in store for them?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Imola. So another big track, another long track. So I don't think we'll get that fast-paced race that we've seen over the last two nights. It'll be a bit more of a strategy, a bit more tyres come into it. I think it'll toss up a good event too. So I'm looking forward to it personally, and also then to back up on Wednesday night and watch these guys race there as well.
Kyle, your thoughts on Imola, mate, before we move on?
Yeah, it's a very technical track, but it is probably one of my more favoured ones due to the flow. So yeah, looking forward to it. Bring it on.
Hoping for another good result out at Imola, Jamie.
I like Imola a lot, but yeah, with the sprint race format next week, that race 2 reverse grid's going to be definitely one to watch.
Yes, that is one thing I did forget, the reverse grid racing out at Imola. David, we'll finish up with you, mate. You're looking forward to next week?
Haven't turned too many laps there, but I'm sure that I'll get into it this week and see how we go.
There we go. So next week, ladies and gentlemen, will be super sprint round and a reverse grid race for race 2. So that'll see us for round 9, race 10, and race 11. So next week is really, really going to turn it up, that's for sure. And we can't wait to jump back into the booth for myself and Dean and to see how these drivers in the Super 2 split really tackle Imola in such a hard race, being a reverse grid as well. And that's one I can't wait to watch. But for the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've wrapped everything up this week. I've got the driver sponsors out of the way. We've got the championship points. We've looked to next week. I think we're pretty well and done, dusted, clear. Jamie, I'll get clarification from you, mate. We all good to move on?
I'm pretty sure we've done well.
There we go. Righto, ladies and gentlemen, I've got the clarification from Jamie Davis. So let's wrap it up 10 on your Wednesday night, and we'll let JP get out of the server because iRacing is about to boot us off and to get these urgent repairs done. But from for your Wednesday night motorsport, ladies and gentlemen, from Austria at the Red Bull Ring for the Devon Stove Designs RedBullring 160. My name is Matt Davis. Joining me by Dean Red at the podium and JP, our director, in the booth tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week. Don't forget, Saturday night Cup Car Warriors on Saturday night. Don't forget about that. That starts at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Times, and then come back here on Tuesday night for your come back to the servers of SimShed Broadcasting on Tuesday night for your RSI Super Series, and Wednesday night for your RSRA Super 2 E Series. Both nights 8:20 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you here next week. So take it easy and good night.